Hannah Catherine too wants to know what's your favorite album of all time. You have great music taste, so I would love to know.
Thank you. I have a ton. I mean, that's like asking what your favorite movie is, because taste is basically just contextualized preference. Like, so there's like nostalgia. There's like when you heard it, who were you with when you heard it. You know,
Yeah.
there are songs that we like that are like lame, or movies that are lame that you love because you saw it with that that special someone or whatever. So I don't know. For me, albums that like kind of I because I want to sound cool and tell you something really interesting and like kind of subversive, but to be honest, probably Rubber Soul. I mean, Beatles albums are kind of go-to, agreed upon, amazing
It's okay.
records. And no, I mean, I'm not defending
proud
myself.
of your Rubber Soul choice.
I'm thinking of their like I'm picturing all my records like sitting around, and be like, what about me, Darren? You always say you love me the most. So because I add personality to all my inanimate
you're basically
objects.
living in a Disney movie.
Because I live in because I'm crazy. Take that, role
I'm just
model.
saying that because
Insane.
you love Disney movies. Just for people who don't know,
I do
I'm
love
not
Disney movies, but
making
let's not make this exclusive to Disney movies. I think I'm just a generally a big fan of the fantastical and absurd. I think that's just generally how I roll. So back to my my lifelike inanimate object records talking to me in my head. I would say Rubber Soul. I mean, I was a big British Invasion fan as a kid, and the only two things I cared about in my formative years was Star Wars and the Beatles. That's the only thing I spent my money on, and it just meant the world to me. So I collected everything Beatles, and Rubber Soul was just a huge record for me. Where I was like, this is it. I cannot believe that people can create something as amazing as this.
Yeah,
it was like a just epiphany for me. Like, man, I gotta try and be as much like this as possible. So I'd say Rubber Soul. There's other ones, but that's for another day.
Are you a Harry Potter nerd too? Like before the show, were you? Because a couple people like Dana Loves Glee wanted to know why were you inspired to make a musical about it. Catherine Barbie wanted to know who your favorite Harry Potter character is. Like, do you?
Yeah, I was always a Harry Potter fan for sure.
Okay.
I have met far bigger fans of it, and people really expect me to be this huge fan. And of course, I am. Star Kid. We always say we fell like sort of ass backwards into this amazing fan community that definitely knew the franchise 20 times better than we did. But we do love it. I mean, I grew up with Harry Potter. I remember waiting in line for the fourth book. So this was before the movies came out. Like I felt like I kind of grew up with Harry. I was a big fan for sure. I mean, the musical, I'm just a fanboy. Like I said, I'm keen on fantasy and sci-fi. So, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, Jurassic Parks are like the top 40 of like go-to big adventure fantasy franchises. Like we always made musicals of those, and
Right.
just as a joke because we're nerds. So Harry Potter happened to be the last one we did before we graduated. But I did like it. We did it because it's fun, and we love being silly, and we love each other. So that was just happened to be our outlet was Harry Potter. Favorite character I would say is get back to me. Ask me at the end, and I'll think about it. Yeah.
All right. Gleek for Life wants to know, what do you keep in your trailer or dressing room? Any notes, mementos?
I don't have a trailer.
Dressing room.
Because I do,
Stool.
but I'm not like one of the main guys on the
Okay.
show. They
I
move
guess,
me around
yeah.
a bit. So some of the other guys have like cool like art and like pictures of family and stuff, and like they leave things in there. I have like my duffel bag that I bring every day. That's it's like my lap. It's pretty boring. I wish I could tell you I brought like my pet monkey and like my other things. I wish I had a pet monkey. But I don't know. I don't bring water, my laptop. Pretty boring. Sorry guys.
Really boring.
I could lie. I bring magical beans. I don't know.
Okay. Who has like the most shrine-esque dressing room?
Criss Colfer. Club Criss. Criss has this little club situation in his trailer where he has like, he's got a little disco ball, he's got all the laser lights and a lot of fun stuff, and every now and then they'll have like a dance party at Club Criss if he
Nice.
lets you in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So would I. I don't think I'm cool enough to get in there. I've been in there once, but that was like my first day of work, and I think they were just being nice to the new guy.
Yeah. Accio Caitlin wants to know.
Oh, it's Osseo, Caitlin.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because I read Harry Potter books.
Oh, I just outed myself as a
Accio, depending on what
Potter
your
amateur.
background is. To this day, I don't
Okay.
know if it's Accio or Osseo.
I'm sorry, Harry Potter fans.
That's cool,
But
no worries.
what is the strangest thing you've read about yourself online? Rumor?
Strangest things I ever read about myself online. I read a lot of strange things that people will send me. I try and stay away from it. It's very toxic. There's a lot of things that like I hate. Big pet peeve, being misunderstood. So which is terrible because I'm in the wrong business because it's just what's going to happen inevitably all the time. People just write the most bonker things ever of just where they just don't really know like what they're talking about or who I am, which is unfortunate. I can't really name instances, or nor do I want to call any specific things out because sometimes it's not like a malicious intent. It's just like that's not true at all, which is the worst because there's nothing you can do about it, and you're like, all right, well, let's just kind of hope the people who know me know that this is incorrect, and we'll just move on. I've read some silly things, but I can't even remember, but they definitely pile up, and I just forget about it just because it's so silly.
Have to.
It's annoying.